Junior, why are you looking so frustrated? What happened?
I just started investing in mutual funds. After waiting for so many years, just last August I began investing. I started doing SIPs. And you know what returns I've got? Negative 23% returns. I was better off with FDs. I simply listened to that, Frankie. Invest, long term, SIPs.
You know how much that same fund has given in 3 years?
How much?
25% positive returns.
So what? What does that mean?
What do you know about Sachin Tendulkar?
I know about Sachin Tendulkar. He's probably one of the best batsmen the world has ever known. He's compared with no less than Don Bradman. I remember, he's hit 100 centuries and scored over 30,000 runs and probably played for some 600 matches.
You are right, 600 plus. Precise 663 tests and one day put together. But do you know about his first ever international series in Pakistan in 1989? You know what happened? Watch this video. So he's just 16 years old, and Waqar Younis, the fast bowler, is bowling to him, and he gets hit. He gets hit on his nose. And he's helped by his teammates who come and help him. The doctor talks to him, but he says, "Main khelega." What if Sachin had doubted his own abilities and stopped playing cricket? What if his teammates had said, "Ye nahi hoga usse"? What if his parents had said, "Come back, your life is more important, stop cricket"? What would have happened?
Oh, we would have never known one of the greatest batsmen in the world. We would have really missed those exciting matches.
Sachin believed in his potential. His teammates believed in him, and his parents supported him. Same goes with life and investing. Don't judge your future performance by this current negative return. Believe in the stock markets, believe in the companies, believe in the businessmen and the entrepreneurs of our country, believe in the government of the country, believe in the people of the country. There is huge potential in India. Believe in the future. Trust God.
Amazing, senior. You are so motivating, inspiring. I want to hear more about investments.
You want to know more? Watch this video by Frankie. He's going to share some very beautiful insights and also from his own experience. Watch it. Come on now, wipe the blood from your nose and get going.
Nose?
I mean, wipe your worries and get going.
Oh.
Welcome to my channel, and I'm glad that you could join today. And right now, the markets are picking up, they're going up. But then there are those who invested recently have seen negative returns. And I'm sure a lot of you who have just started your journey investing or your SIPs in mutual funds may be wondering, is it really worth investing? Because in the last few months, it's only negative. So today's video is only for those who have started their journey probably in 2024 and maybe as early as January 2024 or probably as late as July, August 2024. And right now, when you look at your account statement, you only see negative. So this is for you. And I hope there is a huge takeaway for you. So this will be a short video because the focus of this video will be on understanding that one big lesson that can be learned from this crash, and from one lesson that we can learn from this 3 months returns versus 3 years returns. And we will look at it holistically. We'll look at it very insightfully, and I hope you stay till the end. Watch till the end. There is a lot to learn in this little video. So before we proceed, let me introduce myself again. I'm Frankie Fernandez. I'm a certified financial planner. And I'm also a certified marriage coach. My goal and mission is to help young families to grow their wealth and also their relationship. And to do that, there's my new book, Harmony and Money. You'll find it on Amazon. So this episode, as I mentioned, will be for those who have just started their investment journey, and I hope you will enjoy this episode. A special welcome to all of you who have joined for the first time. I hope you will like this content and you will be a part of this community. So let's get started with today's session. So we will look at a couple of mutual fund schemes like a large and mid cap fund and probably a small or mid cap fund. And we will look at SIPs in the last few months, last year, last 3 years, right? So if you have started investing recently in the last few months, probably this is what your graph of your investment looks like. Let us take a look at this Excel sheet, which I'm going to share with you. So here is an example of a large and mid cap fund, and you started investing in August, September, October, November, and you're investing 10,000 per month as an SIP. And what has happened? Your 40,000 has become 38,000. You've lost almost 2,000 and your returns are minus 23%. And this is what I mentioned, minus 23% in 1 month, in 3 months. And this is what your graph looks like. Here you started and this is where you are. I wonder if your graph looks like this, but some of those whom I helped invest, some of my clients are actually seeing this. When I look at their portfolio, this is what it looks like. And it is very discouraging. I don't know how you feel. I'm sure you are demotivated and you feel bad that why it had to go down. All the last 3 years, 5 years, the market has been going up. But now, when I just started investing, it has gone down. If you had started investing in May, it's still bad. You have 7 installments of 10,000, 70,000, and right now it is 66,000. You have lost almost 4,000, and the returns are minus 15%. And this is what your graph looks like. And I'm sure this is very discouraging to see. But and I want to take you back. I want to take you back in time in the last 3 years. What if you had started investing in the last 3 years? What would have happened? And let's take a look at 2021. 37 installments of 10,000 each. 3,70,000 is right now 5,39,000, which means you have gained almost 1,70,000 and your returns are 25%. In 3 years, your returns are 25%. And in 3 months, your returns are minus 23%. But I want to share with you something very interesting. When you look at this graph, you only see a fall. But when you look at this graph in the last 3 years, how does it look? If you put a trend line here, how does it look? It only looks high slope, right? And what you have invested here, how the market looks like here, it actually looks straight. Just a small blip here, it looks like. Just a small, but if you see, it's just a small curve. But the rest of it has grown. So it doesn't really matter. If you were invested in the last 3 years, when the market fell from October to November, it wouldn't have mattered to you at all. You still have got 25% returns, 26% returns. And it didn't really matter because your money was invested here, you invested here, you invested here, you invested here. Your SIPs kept on growing. It doesn't matter. Those who just started here, yes, you feel. And this is a message for you all who started in August or maybe started in May or probably started in January. And your returns are just 1%. I wish the markets had gone up. And if you look at this, if somebody who has always been investing in FDs, and when he looks at this and says, oh, I wish I'd continued with my FDs because I've got just 1.41%. If I'd invested with an FD, I would have got at least 6, 7, 8%. How good is this equity mutual fund? So this is last 3 years. What about last 5 years? The returns are 26.59. And the same story here. When you look at this, it hardly looks any different. It hardly feels anything. When I looked at this whole charts, people have just started investing and people who were investing earlier. The analogy I can think of is a small child and an adult. When a small child falls sick or gets hurt, the pain is much bigger, more intense for the baby because the baby has not experienced. But when you grow old, a fever or a hurt doesn't matter so much. And same with investing. This one lesson that we can learn from this is that long-term investment pays off. Markets keep going up. Markets will eventually go up. Whatever the situation, whatever the reality of the markets, one day they'll go up. We have seen this in 2020, major fall, then in 2008. And I have seen many of these cycles. But there's one cycle which I went through very early in my investing journey when I just started investing in equities. And that story is actually, from there on, we will look forward. What we just saw was going back in last 3 years, what if you had invested? But I'm going to show you something which I personally went through, but I also missed the great opportunities. So I want to show you a few examples and what a big major lesson that we learned. So as far as I remember, when I joined Alliance Capital in 1998, my third job in a mutual fund industry. After having worked for 5 years with SBI and then another company, I moved to Alliance Capital, where I spent roughly 4 years where I spent in Alliance Capital. And that is where I started getting interested in investing in equity funds. And there I'd seen some of the NAVs, like a 10 had become 150. A 10 rupees NAV becoming 150, and some other funds, 10 rupees becoming 80 rupees. A lot of good funds. And that is where I started investing in equities. And so around this time, so this is where my investment journey began. And I actually saw, this is where I started investing in equities. Not SIPs, but I was doing a lump sum. I never had an idea of SIPs. I wish I had. And I'm going to share you some examples what SIP returns have they given. So I started investing here, and I saw my investments growing here. Amazing growth from 1998. I've seen the market at 3,000, right? 3,000, and the market actually touching 6,000, double. And I was investing here. I saw a lot of good returns. And then the Ketan Parekh scam happened, and the markets they kept on going down. In fact, this is when I got married, and along with my bonus and some of the funds I had, I sold them. Some were at a loss, some were at a profit, and I had to sell them here and exit. And just imagine what I went through. I felt very discouraged because I saw my journey just going up, up, up. Similar to some of you who started investing in 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. And even early 2024. We all saw it going up. We don't see this. And I saw this, and the markets crashing and crashing and crashing. It was very discouraging. But I want to show you something very interesting now. This was in 2001, and I didn't know what the future would hold. I want to share with you another chart. And you have to guess Where is this in that chart? From 1998 to 2024. Any guesses? You want to see this at close up? It's here. And now let's take a look at the entire chart. So that chart which we saw here, which brought a lot of discouragement to me, is here. And we are currently here. What does this tell you? What is that one message you get from this? Long term. Stay invested long term. Do not focus on the downfall which you see. You may have just started your journey, but do not be discouraged. Look at this. If somebody had told me then that don't worry, Frankie, stay invested, continue doing your SIPs, one day you will see the gains. I wouldn't have believed. And I'm sure it is hard for you or some of you to believe this. But this is exactly what has happened. And you know, want to see how many times it has gone up from here to here? It's from 3,000. The index is now 82,000, 81,709. It has grown by 2,112%, which is like 22 times. And in terms of the compounded annualized returns, it is 12.15%. No investment option, no asset class has been able to beat this 12.15% returns. So I was also looking at a fund. If I had invested then, if I had got discouraged, when I thought about a fund which existed then during 1998, 1999, when I was working, and what if I had invested and I got discouraged and stopped investing? What would be the consequence? And if I had continued investing, what could be the consequence? And with that, I will close. So I want you to look at that. So this was Nippon India Growth Fund those days. And what if I had started investing? This is where I started actually investing in equities, 1999. I would have got an NAV of 14 rupees and I would have invested 10,000 per month. And I would have got 3 years. I would have got an NAV of 18.70. So this is the cumulative units. So here I would have got 690 units because of this NAV. I invested 10,000 and gradually my units would be 15,642 and 15,642 with the NAV as of 1011 or 1211 would give me 2,92,506, which means I invested 10,000 rupees and 35 installments. I got so many units. My 3,50,000 became 2,92,000. I lost 60,000 and it's negative. Now, what if an investor then, or let's take my example. If I had done this SIP, I didn't do, but if I had done this SIP and if I had seen this negative, there are two choices I had. Either say, forget mutual funds. In fact, three choices I would have had. I would say, forget mutual funds and come out of mutual funds. That is one choice. Or second choice is stop any more investments in mutual funds and pack my bags and get out of mutual funds. And the third option is continue with SIPs. Now let's take the second, right? The first is you're gone. You would have lost your money and come out of it. But if you had just stayed and say that, okay, let me stay invested. I will not invest anymore. Whatever I've invested, जो गया जो गया. मैं और कुछ नहीं करूंगा. I'll just forget it. And then, can you imagine what this 3,50,000 is today's value? 3,50,000, which I had invested 2001. Today, the value would be 10 lakhs, 20 lakhs,
30 lakhs, 50 lakhs, a crore, 2 crores? Let's take a look. 6.5 crore. You've gained 6.52 crores and the returns are 24%. Now the market gave 12%. Mutual funds give obviously more because the fund manager invests not in index funds, but they do active management. And 6 crore 55 lakhs I would have had to do if I'd done this. And what if I continued investing and say, I will not give up? Continue the 10,000 rupees. You know how much I would have got today? I would have invested 31 lakhs as of today. I would have got 12 crores at 23% compounded annualized returns. This is the power of compounding. This is the power of staying long term. So if you are a new investor, just started your investing journey, you're a young family in your 30s, and you just followed your advisor's advice and you started SIPs, and this is what it looks like, or probably this is what it looks like. Don't be discouraged. This is just your beginning. Our markets will keep going up. Our consumption in our country, the GDP of our country will keep growing. It's growing at 5, 6, 7%. And companies are profiting at 20, 25, 30, 40% also, some of the small caps. So the markets are growing. So when you look at this, remember this. Or you can remember this, the last 3 years. This is the last 5 years. But if you are a long-term investor, you can remember this. You can remember this. Remember this chart. This is what probably currently it looks like. But remember, one day it may be like this. Even if it is not like this, probably like this. It will only keep going up and you will get returns. So as I promised, as I mentioned, this is a short video, and this is for all those who are new investors. And even those who have invested for the last few years, just see the power of staying in the market. Not timing the market, but the time in the market. Staying long term. Staying long term. Keep doing your SIPs. Keep doing your SIPs. Keep doing your SIPs. Focus on your job. Don't focus on trading and buying and selling and all that. Don't have to do. Just stay focused. Watch my other videos on investing is boring. Creating wealth is boring. Check my videos on SIPs. Continue to stay invested. Continue to do your SIPs. And you will see the fruit of your patience. I hope this little video has been a bulb on moment for you and you've learned something very precious about long term, right? So don't look at 1 month, 3 month returns. One day you will look at 30 years of returns and you will say, wow, I'm happy that I watched this video in December 2024. I watched this video and what it said has come true. Yes, because our country has a growing economy. It's a growing country. Our consumption continues. Globally also, the focus is on development and progress. And this is the decade for our nation. So stay invested, stay long term. I hope you liked it. Thank you for watching this video till the end. And if you think this has added value to you in your understanding, please give a thumbs up. And if you think that it is worth being a part of this community, I encourage you to subscribe. And I will see you again with my next video. See you soon.